Well, good evening. How we doing?
Good. How you doing, Clay?
Oh, it's been a busy day. It's probably the most unprepared I've ever been for a show. So,
Is it?
other
All
than
right,
that,
man. That sounds like fun.
hopefully you're on your game, right? All right.
Oh,
Well, we didn't put the chat overlay up here, did we?
I saw it was up for a moment. Maybe you didn't.
They're working now? Heck.
Negative.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody's chatting.
Well, they're here. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Good evening, Mr. Fellow MV. Eric
Hey,
Newman's
Brian.
first. And I know Eric just got himself a fresh jug of whiskey just to enjoy Guns in the 701 tonight.
Perfect.
He quit drinking that Tommy Corona, after
he?
InBev owns them and they had, the whole Bud Light thing, their same company, boom, done with them.
Yeah, you can't get over that, huh?
I wouldn't either. I'm going to try that. I'm going to reload this, see if I can't make this all come up. So,
Yeah, Brian said he can see the chat on Facebook.
oh, okay. Well, good. Well, as long as it's working there, guys, I can see it here. I don't know.
No, I can see it finally. Yeah.
Can you? Okay.
Hey, Braden, evening.
Good to have you on again, Braden. Hopefully your mother's doing good. I heard she's out of the hospital, so that's always great news. So anyway, I guess let's get this baby started.
Yep.
First of all, like we do each and every week with our Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And I had Marty do it last week. By the way, thank you, Marty. I don't know if he's listening tonight, but he did a great job filling in, and we had a lot of fun. It was a different type of show, but everybody seemed to really enjoy it. So
yeah, thanks, Marty. Appreciate it. Hell of a job. It was a good show.
Eric Newman, I can't drink the light beers. They're horse piss beer.
Oh, yeah.
But
yep, I have heard that before from people. But I drink light beers. I'll drink everything.
So I want to just put a couple plugs in here.
Yeah.
We got a brand new website. If you haven't seen it, guys, go check out gunsin701.com. We were able to make the move from the commie square.com. They were my commie
yes,
company last week. And we made the move. They give us basically 30 days, said we're going to deplatform. We didn't wait on them. Did some searching, spent a lot of hours looking for the right company. And yeah, I think it's going to work out real good. I was able to hop on there the last basically week and built the, help build the site. The gal that runs Freedom Host USA, she was just fantastic. Heather, I just got to tip my hat to you. You've been fantastic. We do have a new web email, and you and I will be able to both access this in the end. Jamie, it's guns@gunsin701.com. We made it real simple, so you and I will both have access to that. And we want to encourage you to use that if you're contacting us at gunsin701.
Blind guy texted me. They're listening. Marty's out there. They're listening out at the compound there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, out on Stewartsdale.
Hope
I said it right, Marty. You think usually say Stewartsville, and he says that's not what it's called. Yeah, I think it's Stewartsdale Township.
You'll love this. My mouse just died. How about that?
Oh man, Clay's on a hell of a one. So Clay, I want to say this a few times tonight before their shows. Over tomorrow night, same time, 7 p.m. Thursday, we're having a special edition of Guns in the 701. We're going to have on Mr. John Arman from the Ultimate Outdoor Adventures here in Bismarck. We're going to be talking about Clay and I were on last Friday on Todd Mitchell's show talking about an outdoor television program that was totally against crossbows and archery season. John got a hold of me, said he wants to discuss it and he wants to come on and do it. So we're going to do that, and I'm sure that's going to take up a big part of the show, and I'm sure we'll get into talking about some deer numbers and whatnot too. But tomorrow night, 7 o'clock right here, Clayton, myself, and Mr. John Arman from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures.
Special episode powered by Lauer Auto Repair. Downtown Bismarck 309 South Washington. I was like, how I just led that right in there.
Yeah. What did Eric say? I don't know if Jamie could handle I
don't know if Jamie can handle the dark beer that I had at 2A Day.
Whoa, no way. No, I couldn't, Eric. That stuff was rough.
So I got to put this up here, guys. So here's the brand new website. Here's the store. We finally got this rocking and rolling. You can see that we've got shirts, caps, and then the features are down here. You just can hit the same thing. Got some new designs in there. You can donate. We got a code for that. You also can see that up there on the corner of your screen. Of course, our decals and then our patches. So I want to show you. You go to the shirts and you can go and check out and find any design you want. We've got them all up there now. I'm kind of wearing the newer one tonight. This is
Yeah, I'm
one.
wearing a blind guy shirt. Yeah.
You're wearing a blind guy shirt.
Yeah.
We've got some ladies apparel there, guys. There's the hunting gnomes. My wife, she put that on. I think your daughter either has
Yeah.
that.
Oh
Or,
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. My aunt noticed that right away in Minnesota too when I was there last week. We had the
So
Kanakuzi there.
the jig, cool, yeah, and it's pretty easy to navigate the store, guys. It's easy to return to the store itself, get back to the catalog. I'm very happy with how this turned out. We've got our sweatshirts, and it's all the same designs. Basically, just go ahead and hit it. You can go here. You can choose your style: medium, large, extra large, whatever it might be. Hit your retro gear, or you can get your new logo, Hunting Gnomes. It's pretty self-explanatory. Add it, and it's a pretty easy checkout. Just follow the instructions. You can use your own card, or you can make make an actual account if you want with Stripe. But most people just go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way and just put in their card. We do not accept PayPal, nor will we. They're also commies. We also won't accept Square. So just so everybody knows.
And I'd just like to say, Clay, thanks a lot for doing all that. I was on vacation. I'm just heading out when all this started, and Clay put in a bunch of work to get all this set up, buddy. I appreciate that. You're awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It wasn't too bad. Once I learned how to navigate it, it was really good. Look at that. We lost the chat again, but hopefully it'll come back. Nope. Is it coming back? Let us know if you can. I can see your guys' chats myself. So like Kevin, hey, good to see you, Kevin. Dan Brown, hey, good to have Dan. Maybe did he just catch that he's one of our shirt models on there? We use that the one he sent us. So.
I can see the chat, Shiloh. Hey, good evening, Shiloh.
Hey,
Thanks for tuning in, bud.
So I guess we got kind of a long show, I think, tonight. So why don't we get started with our first subject, Jamie? Why don't you take us into it?
Let's do it. Yeah. So as usual, we're going to do the weekly poll, and I gotta say, Clay, this was like the biggest bomb participation poll. Like bomb is in like nobody wanted to participate in it poll. So if I do another one next week, maybe it was my question because the week before it was awesome. But if this happens again, we're gonna eliminate the poll for a while. But the poll question was manual safety on your carry pistol. Yes, no, or what's a manual safety? Me, myself, Clay, before we get into it, I will say I definitely prefer a manual safety on all of my firearms, especially carry pistols, and especially if I got one in the pipe. So
I'm a manual safety guy too. I'm surprised how many people didn't know what one was.
Maybe I was kind of
14% on there.
I kind of put that up to like, what's a manual safety? Like somebody's like, manual safety, please. Kind of that way about it. Like,
14%. I mean, that's a lot higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah, we got another one on there since I wrote it down. So yeah. So
but there's another one on there. Okay.
Yeah, and the number one was no, which was 63% at 14 votes. Oh, 64. So, all right, we got another one on that.
I just grabbed that here about literally.
Okay. And coming in last, yes, at 22% with 5 votes. So we're definitely in the minority on that one, Clayton.
I see that. Wow. Huh. I prefer one.
Yeah. I mean, my Ruger, actually, my LC9S, is that, like a lot of people are like, well, yeah, you got this trigger safety. Well, guess what? I got that and I got a manual safety. There's an LC9. They don't make them anymore. It's goes by a different name now. But I have an LC9S, and the S had like the good trigger with a better trigger brake, like a 5-pound trigger brake instead of the 7 or whatever. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's love it. It's a great pistol. I got 2 of them actually. So, and I love that manual safety.
Like I said, and I'm a manual safety guy. I'm the same reason you are. I got to have that. Or I prefer.
Yeah, I got something stuck down my pants. I want a safety on it. So
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I can tell you this. And I really enjoy carrying revolvers too. And I know everybody, especially the Rugers, they've got the built-in stuff. I still, even in my 6 shots, I only got 5 in there, and I have it on an empty cylinder. I just extra safety. That's my
some of them have that
safety.
Crossbar safety, even right for the hammer.
Yeah, some of them do. I still just, like I said, I
mean, a revolver, if you got the old revolver where the snap goes over the hammer, so it can't actually even be cocked.
Yeah,
right? I don't know. Do they do that anymore? I got one revolver, and it's a 22.
Oh,
it's pretty sweet though.
Now, if you got one of Heritage Arms, it's got that goofy little safety on there. But
yeah, we talked about that at 2A day there.
Yeah, it worked, but yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. I would say like these chats too, Clayton. I can usually see all of them. They're like cut off on the. I
I
can't
know
read all of them.
I don't know what's going on here. Hey Doug, good to have you on, Mr. Gene Cox. No empty cylinder here. I think I can
Yeah.
show them. There we go. I can show them, but I can tell you on my end of it, I'm not seeing them. So if you guys can see them, great. It doesn't matter because I can see them on my off menu, but usually I can see them right there on the live chat. So
Yeah, so Gene, I was waiting for him to send me the info. He's Dakota Territory Gun Collectors. He's their can't remember what is he their head of marketing now or something for.
oh, it is. All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Gene.
remember we were talking about it. He was going to
That's
send us
right.
some info, and
That's right.
So Gene, whenever you get that ready, get it to Clayton and I, and we'll get that information out for you. So
Yeah,
and hey, like I said, we're going to be on tomorrow night again at 7:00, special edition. John Arman from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures coming on with us, talking some bow hunting. So
yeah, it should be a good show. I think I really do. I think it'll be a good show.
Evening two-way lovers, heck with the haters, absolutely.
So I'm gonna go check something out here. I got
Okay.
to know. I just went onto the website and I want to see if our live show is up and running.
The reason Clay's doing that is because we have a new website. In case you got in.
Yeah. Oh, look at there. Now you'll love this. There it is. It's up and rolling, and the chats are on there. So that's good to see.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, Clayton, let's hit our first topic here for the evening, shall we?
Yep, let's go for it. Go ahead.
Are you going to lead us? You want me to do it? All right.
Go ahead.
We got everybody knows now. I think Mohammed Barakat's attack on the Fargo law enforcement officers and a civilian down there, and I mean a lot of us knew this was coming. Probably most of us listening. The leftists are going to start barking about gun control. And guess what? We got an article by a guy who used to be somebody on the Common Sense team, was a good guy. Now started working for a media outlet down there in Fargo. You probably know him by his nickname here. I'll say Portly. I just kind of extended his last name a little bit. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Rob Porkchop.
Yeah, and this guy, I mean, I remember I emailed him when he's a long time ago when he was still in the right frame of mind there about the ATF, and he sent me one back and said basically everybody in ATF are MFers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Clay, it almost sounds like he'd maybe crawl right up the ATF's rear end.
Kind of sounds like it to me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's
got an article in the Inform here, and we're going to kind of pull some stuff out of here about it. So he goes on, he kind of goes through what happened there in Fargo, and he says, we subsequently learned that state lawmakers in 2019 made a change to state law protecting the sales of binary triggers, which is starting to be the boogeyman here down in Fargo. The binary triggers, you pull it once, it goes bang, you let it off, it goes bang again. So you get two, he's going to get two shots.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Yep. And
it's a lot of fun, by the way.
Yeah, tons of fun. Okay, and according to Robimus Portlemus, the legislation is worth revisiting after what happened in Fargo. And as America continues to be a global outlier when it comes to mass shootings, we need to be open to new laws that ensure guns don't get into the hands of those who would use them for mayhem. So, Clay, I'm reading another law in there that he supports. What do you think that is?
Oh,
two of them, actually.
Basically.
So he wants to ban binary triggers. We're gonna get into that.
Right.
He gets directly on those here in a bit, but
I'm sure he's going to be looking. He's going to be looking the red flag law. He's going to be looking at everything. You know that's what.
In my opinion, red flag laws, and he's going to want to start talking mandatory background checks.
Absolutely.
Which
already exist, guys.
And guess what? Barakat, guy didn't have any. He had one encounter with law enforcement in Fargo, which was a traffic ticket, which whatever, I don't even call it like an encounter with him. He was speeding or something, right?
Right.
And he passed all the background. There was nothing in the guy's history that would have stopped him from getting a firearm. So, hey, Portly, dig a little deeper there, Mr. Super Sleuth, and see what's up with this, because this guy could buy anything he wanted. Clay.
Yeah,
he could have got a damn Class 3 and got a full automatic if he wanted to.
Absolutely, he could, because he wasn't barred from it, so he would have passed a background check. So when a guy like Porkchop decided to actually ask and tell everybody we need to have universal background checks, well, what good would it have done?
Nothing.
And guys, when they say that, I cannot reiterate this enough. A lot of people still have this misconception, spread by the fake news, that you can just go out there and buy a gun anywhere, and there's, we got to have a background check on everything. No,
Mhm.
if you go buy it from a licensed FFL dealer, whether it be downtown in Bismarck at the mall, or if you go to Mandan Sporting Goods, or you go see David Fetting, they all have FFLs. You will have to go through the 4473. There's no way around it. If you're going through a federally firearms licensed dealer, you will do the background check, or the universal background check from NICS, and that's the National Instant Background Check System. Now, what they're talking about is guys like you and me, who, if I want to, hey, Jamie, I want to get rid of this one gun back here. We'll meet up and we'll make a deal and then sell it. And that's okay. It's a private sale, and it should be that way. But that's what they want to regulate. They want me to take that to an FFL dealer, have you come there, and then he does the transfer, probably cost you $25 to $50, and then have you do the paperwork on a sale between two private individuals. And I will never support that. Never.
So Clay, he goes on here, but no shooter acts because they have a gun. Barakat didn't start his rampage because he had a binary trigger. Okay, no, and then listen to this, Clay, in the very next sentence. Again, a debate about the tools, the guns and the triggers, and what level of access we allow is a worthy one. Yeah, but you just said, Portly, that it didn't matter, right? He just said it didn't matter what he had. He didn't act because it was binary trigger, and now he wants to limit your access to gun parts,
including binary triggers, which didn't really play according to Portly.
It's a worthy one, he says, Clay, and there are things we can do to mitigate this plague. There is
a plague, huh?
It happens once in North Dakota, and it's a plague. You're right.
Yeah.
So right here, our legislature needs to end protections for binary triggers, which they did, because I said that in the beginning. And he said that was a mistake. But that's low-hanging fruit. That's treating the symptom and not the disease. Again, he just wants to ban them, and he says again in the next breath, it's not going to do anything, Clay.
Yeah. Says it's a symptom and doesn't.
So why would you want to? What do you think his reasoning is that he would want to do this? Other than he's suckling up to the leftists down there in Fargo for his paycheck.
Well, he absolutely knows that this will lead to complete and total probably confiscation and more regulation. More regulation will come first. We've seen that already through the ATF and their overreach on many things, and it will lead to confiscation. That's the end goal. Never, ever forget that no matter if it's Port or any liberal or leftist, when they talk about these things, it's always about the end game of complete and total confiscation. And I guarantee you they're coming after your shotguns too eventually. They want those.
No.
They want them all.
No,
right? Yeah.
Oh, so we also, okay. You know what I did, Clay? I actually clicked over here. I can see the chats now. I can't see in the little one, but I put them on these bigger ones. So yeah, Doug says he was more than happy to go after the low hanging fruit. Absolutely he was. Because you know why he was more than happy, Doug? Because he wanted to. He's actually a leftist now. He got down there.
Right.
Just like old Big Eddie Schultz when he was on. He was a Republican, and whatever he did, I think Rob Port got into the same kind of juice Big Eddie was sucking on down there. So
I like what Eric said. He goes, keep America safe. Spay and neuter your liberals. I love that one.
Oh, Port's an idiot. Yes, he is, Casey. He
is, Casey.
And all right, Waylon Turnus just joined us. How you doing, Waylon? Just got done assessing the garden. Corn got the S-bomb kicked out of it last night. Oh, yeah, he got some hail up there. That's right.
Yeah, I heard there was some pretty nasty hail went through some areas around Beulah, Hazen, and in through there.
You know what? I talked to my dad, because the heavier stuff, the rain and everything's always been missing this place. Well, it worked to his benefit this time because he said it didn't hail there. But like I told you before we were on, Clay, his barley did get blown around in town there. But, he got just over an inch and a half. But
yeah. We didn't get anything much east of me over here, McIntosh area. They got hammered with hail. I mean, we saw some pictures, and it looked like it had snowed. That's how white it was. So they got a lot of hail, and I heard there's a lot of stuff just gone over there.
Evening, Travis, coming at us from Washington State.
Oh, there's Trav. Big Trav.
Should we go to our first break here, Clay, and then
Sure,
come
yeah,
back
let's
and
do
let's
that.
hit on because we're not done with South Dakota media leftists wanting to infringe on your gun rights here. We got all familiar with old Joel the Troll Heitkamp. Oh
Yep.
yeah,
Let's go into that. So yeah, go ahead. Let's thank our sponsors, and then we'll come back and
you bet.
take
Coming right.
old Joel out.
Hey, wait a minute, Clay. Rob
What?
Port, you know something?
Nasty person.
There we go.
I love that.
The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lowry you heard the sponsored guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
All right. Again, thanks to Lauer Auto Repair down there. They do a fantastic job. And yeah, I tell you what, we're gonna have to do, like I said, we got to change that a little bit. We got fall coming on now.
We are slow on that.
And hunting season, and I can't think of a better time to go in there and see Doug and the crew down there and have them just give a once over through your entire vehicle, especially your hunting rig. You do not want to walk when that's happening. So go see the guys and have them fix you up.
Hey, Dougie said, by the way, that old truck's for sale. Stop in there and make him an offer.
Which one's that?
That old red grain truck
Oh,
on the
the
commercial.
old, really?
Yeah, the old this is a Chevy, I think, ain't it? I guess.
Well, yeah, it looks like my old 50. You know, we got a 57 Chevy truck we still use here too.
Yeah.
What are you asking, Doug? You might as well just do a little free advertising here.
Well, that says Travis for DOJ. I'm in on that.
That would be funny right there.
That would. Oh man, the press conferences would be outstanding. So,
oh, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah,
oh, that'd be funny.
So, all right, Clay. Before we went to the break here, Joel the Troll Heitkamp had on City Commissioner John Strand. That guy right there, and according to a great friend of the show, knows John not personally, but has interacted with him. And this guy was on a school board too. If you listen to this interview we had with Joel, you're gonna.
And wasn't he on the city commission before? Or is that just a new?
I didn't know he's a school board member.
Okay.
And then when he ran for city commission, and this guy organized the BLM rallies in Fargo. And he was on the school board, and now he's on the city commission. So I mean, that'll tell you what kind of people you got voting down there in Fargo.
I don't know. I don't know who, if anybody else other than you heard this interview, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is it's unreal. It'll make your blood boil listening to these. And Clay and I are gonna, because Clay can't hear it. We were playing it, but I mean, we're gonna go off by what we just listened to it. Actually, Marty sent us a link to this.
He did, yes.
Didn't he? Thank you, Marty. And yeah. This guy, comes off barking about all the guns. He doesn't want guns being sold in neighborhoods in Fargo. He thinks that's a big problem. Like Mohammed Barakat gives two shits about where he bought his gun at from.
Right.
You know, and he goes, hey, and I'm not anti-Second Amendment. I had two brothers who were FFL.
They were hunters.
Yeah, they were hunters and sportsmen. Really?
And we went deer hunting. Well, shit. That don't mean nothing.
Yeah. I tell you what, Commissioner Strand, if you can find the word hunting and sportsman in the Second Amendment in our Bill of Rights, I'll give you every assault weapon I own. So
let's look. We'll check that. Let's double check that right now. Oh,
yeah.
Looky there. It's not there. Well, look at that. There's only 27 words
there. Being necessary to secure the right of the sportsman to keep and bear hunting arms shall
that you
might
only
be
need.
Infringed, depending on what city commissioners think.
And based on your need.
Dang, I guess I owe all my hours now. Yeah, based on your need. Yeah. So yeah, he thinks that's the problem is there's too many FFLs. He thinks every gun should be bought and sold through Shields with a background check. And where does he get this big proliferation of like guns being sold by FFLs? And he's afraid they're going to expand and well, luckily a guy called in there too.
He did.
I actually think it was somebody who follows us, Clay. He said his name was Andy, and I think it might be Andy Wan, which is not his real last name.
Okay. Yep.
I think I could be wrong, but he said, you can buy guns from. He goes, Joel, you could come and buy a gun for me in the neighborhood, and it wouldn't matter. So I don't know. This guy's got it all backwards. What's he worried about? He goes, if anything, the FFL dealer then has to go through a background check.
Right. And that's what he was getting at. He like, isn't that better? I mean, and he basically put, isn't that better the way you guys are talking? He said, because then they got to go through the 4473. They got to go through the background check, buying from an FFL versus just coming and buy it privately. You wouldn't have a clue. You wouldn't know. I mean,
and he went. We got to put this comment right up right here real quick here. Brian Warner, standing in the garage don't make you a car, and having brothers that hunt don't make you a gun guy. Ain't that a fact?
Right. That sounds like a T-shirt. That sounds like a T-shirt.
So he went back, Clay. He was using the old Eric Holder thing. We got to reverse this. We got to reverse this gun culture and the way people are thinking. I don't know if it was the NRA or there was the old evil NRA who they don't do anything. They just buckle, right, Clay? Everybody.
They they buckle every day.
Yeah. We got to reverse that gun culture somehow, and a good way to start it, according to Commissioner Strand there in Fargo, would be so you can't have FFLs in your garages and people selling out of their houses anymore.
I think what he was more pissed off about, because he went after Ben Koppelman, which Ben Koppelman is a great American. He's a great patriot,
big time.
I was proud to work with him and Jeff Magrum on some of that legislation in 2019. Like the Stand Your Ground bill and other things. Mm-hmm. And they did a fantastic job. Now, they don't like guys like that.
What did Joel say about him?
Well, they basically, what he called him, a little man syndrome or something.
Yeah, he said, I know Ben Koppelman. Yeah. I know he's about, short man syndrome or something like that.
Yeah, and you've got him down, man. That
you're not very tall either, Joel. You're a short man to me.
Yeah, well, we won't go any more into what old pork chops like, but that should say enough right there. Like we always said, you wipe you take a Joel and you wipe your Heidi. That was always. But anyway, they go in and they start attacking him, and I think what torqued him off even more was the fact that Big Bad Fargo got told what to do. I mean, that was what I got out of it, because we have our own home charter. We have our home charter rule, and then the legislature, they go in there and they tell us what to do. Because
their charter was, Clayton, right? That you couldn't sell guns out of your house. They tried to do, right?
Just like Mandan, North Dakota has something going on with that. David brought that to my attention. Mm-hmm. I think you saw it too, where they're basically changing it so that they're making all the residential areas and saying, wait a second, you can't have a home-based FFL dealership. Mm-hmm. Well, why not? It's your home. It's your private property. And I'm just glad I don't live in them towns and cities. I couldn't do it. I'd probably be in jail by now, because I'd have probably punched somebody out when they showed up at my house and told me what I couldn't do with my private property. But I'm telling you right now, that probably is what set him off most, because Fargo wants to be this beacon of liberalism. They want to be little Minneapolis. I mean, that's their whole goal, to be. Oh,
they're getting they're pretty much there.
And when I was going to school there, now you're talking 30 years ago, literally. It was there then, but it's 10 to 100 times worse than it was even then. And that was what probably got in his craw the most, because the legislature, they went ahead and made a rule. They made a law, and then the governor signed it.
He said they won, and then he said they won, and then they came back again, and then Drew Wrigley changed it so it'd get passed.
Yep. I mean, it was butthurt is what it was. And here's what I got news for you. You know what? It's like South Dakota. North Dakota's got similar laws to it. You can't have a law more stringent than that in the state constitution when it comes to the Second Amendment. As far as I'm concerned, you don't have the right as a city or a municipality to infringe on the Second Amendment anyway. Mm-hmm. That Bill of Rights is pretty much the law of the land. I mean, it really is. And I don't even contend that, people say, oh, you got the freedom of speech, but you can't yell fire in a theater. Yeah, you can. That's actually that is completely BS. It's not true. You're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to. It's the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. Yep. I remember I heard it when I was a kid, when we talk about things that rights, and what that was liberal teachers even then trying to plant that seed, saying, it's a right, but there are things you can do to regulate it. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's kind of like when they make a First Amendment area at the Capitol when you want to go up there and have a rally or something. No. The whole
Yeah.
damn place is a First Amendment area. And, you're supposed to let them know and fill out the paperwork and get a permit. It's like, you should be able to just show up. That's a state-owned, but let's get this right. It's a people-owned property. The government has nothing unless they take money from the people and purchase it. Therefore, the people own it. So to me, that stuff just really gets under my craw.
Mm-hmm. And well, Clay, and then hey, he's we got text in here, just Strand for governor. Joe was all proud of saying that. Yeah, and then
that.
so the guy starts trying to talk Constitution, and he's all these Republicans want to talk states' rights. What about city rights? We can why can't we make our own laws too? I mean, they got rid of the woman's reproductive rights, and I'm like, yeah, because that's a 10th Amendment issue, dude. You're so smart that the 10th, you don't even know what the hell the 10th Amendment is. If it's not specified in the Bill of Rights, it goes to the state.
That's right, and it's not a right. They don't have a right. It's not reproductive rights.
Yeah, the Second Amendment applies to everybody. It's for every person, not for a city to. I mean, if every city had a different law, you couldn't even travel with your damn gun, which they'd want, because you wouldn't know if you were breaking a law.
They're not. Cities make ordinances. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
They make ordinances. They don't make laws. Now, they might call it breaking the law, but you're actually violating a city ordinance. That's a complete different thing. And people forget. People need to go take a damn government class again so that they understand exactly how things are structured when it comes to municipalities, counties, school boards, the state legislature, and on up the chain. The state makes laws. They pass bills, they get signed, and they become law. That's a law. It's in the North Dakota Century Code. That's the laws of North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how this works. Cities make ordinances, and they might carry the weight of law in some instances, but they do not have the same statute as law. And I know everyone thinks they do, but they really don't when you go to court.
Yeah, and he's mad because it went to court and it rightfully got beat down. And
that's right.
Now it's Drew Wrigley changed the rules. Really, did he? Come on.
I like what Doug put up here. Doug put, and the Declaration says our God-given rights. Absolutely. That means it can't be infringed because government don't grant us rights. We inherently are born with them, and all government forgets that. We saw a lot of that happening.
Here, Clay.
What's that?
I said Eric's taunting me here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Look
at that. I have a 25-inch wide 4x4 muley out in my pasture, 500 yards from the house. If it was season, I could pull a Jamie and go and shoot it during the show.
For those of you who don't remember that, Jamie had a little hunting trip out there with his pink Red Ryder?
Pink Red Ryder, and a flicker tail dropped down into my window while I had to go take care of it during the show here.
That was fun. I'm surprised YouTube didn't nix us on that one, to be honest.
We're not popular enough to care, Clay. They don't care about it.
Yeah. Scott Buckmeyer, he can hunt on air on the radio and you get to listen to it. But on Guns in the 701, you get live play-by-play action.
You got to see the barrel coming down through the window there.
That was great.
That was a good one. Oh, man. Yeah. So, Joel and the rest of the Fargo media, Portley, and, they're all binary triggers got to go. And, when he always was against AR-15s. And then when his sister ran for Senate, and he was for them. And he was all for him until she got beat again, and all of a sudden he was against him. Trust me, that guy's against freaking semi-automatic AR-15s, and he's got it. He always tries to say he's got his 270 hunting rifle. Who knows? He probably put it in trailer hitch and bent it over because he's so mad at semi-automatics. But he always tried to make himself sound like a semi-automatic guy because he owned a 3-round Browning BAR for deer hunting. So he's anti-gun.
I think he's an anti-gunner. He's conveniently pro-gun when it fits his narrative, and then he's still not pro-gun. Well, that says Kramer says he's not sure if he's going to run. Yeah, right. He's running. I heard that today, Lynette. We'll touch on that here in a little bit.
Hey, because you know what happened down there though, Clay. You're saying when Democrats lose, they want to change the rules.
The rules, absolutely. Well, you know what? Just for a minute, just listen. Do you hear that? Joel's not on the air in Western North Dakota anymore.
Thank God. Oh man, I used to on a daily basis when I'd turn on KFIR 550 and just be glad him and Mike McPhoney were both off the airwaves. So
I'm glad Hennon's gone. I never enjoyed Hennon's show.
Yeah, see, I didn't hate Hen Dog like
I didn't
all you
hate
guys
him. I
did.
just, he's a fake Republican too, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe. That's probably why. That's probably why he got along with Perry so good. So they were both fake.
Yeah.
We'll let
Perry.
We'll let little man Perry get mad at me.
Oh heck! All right, so should we go? Let's head on, Clay, to the next thing. We're not ready for the double ad yet. Here, we're still pretty early. But we are going to get in.
Maybe
unless anybody else has got anything to close on that, Clay? Because I'm pretty much done with those two down there. Unless they start opening their yak again. But
I always look at Fargo and I see the things they're doing over there. I do pay attention. I even got their stupid app on my Roku so I can listen to their city council meetings. Guys, if you live in the Fargo area and you're pissed off about things that are happening, go participate. I can tell you right now, for as big as Fargo, North Dakota is, they have hardly anybody there percentage-wise of their residents showing up to their council meetings. So why the hell would they listen to you? They're just going to pass things, and they know they're safe. Go to them meetings. If anybody's learned anything over the last 3 years, when we show up in numbers, that makes them nervous, and we get things done and we stop things. That's the only way. And you can't do it more than at the local level. Go to them school board meetings. Get down and tell them that you don't want this. You don't want to see sex books in school. You don't want to see Common Core. You don't want to see these things, because if you don't, then why should they change their mind? Why should they?
Yeah, and as far as the city commissioner worried about guns there, you maybe worry about more what's in people's minds who you're inviting into your city than what they can buy legally. So that's what you should be worried about a little more, what they think and what they think of America.
And remember, Lutheran Social Services, and I believe in the Catholic, I don't know what they called theirs, their equivalency of it. They were bringing these, they quit doing that. And your boys, guys, Mr. Burgum, who's running for the president of the United States now, he went ahead and said, yeah, we'll do it. And I believe he put Health and Human Services in charge of it. That is completely in the wrong direction of what the state wants. We don't want them people here. You guys saw it in Bismarck.
Don't ever forget, Clay, when President Trump said you don't have to take any refugees into your state, you can reject them. Mr. Doug Burgum, guess what? Oh, we have to take him. It just looks bad. In other words, he was afraid that somebody was going to call him a racist because he didn't want people we don't want people in North Dakota who don't, because they don't respect America. He just welcomed them in because he was afraid somebody was going to call him a name.
And you know what? That probably is that's probably traumatic to Governor Burgum. I'm pretty sure he got called a lot of names, stuffed in lockers, things like that when he was a kid. So that's probably what that's about.
Oh man!
Get in there, Doug! Lock the door.
Man! All right, Clayton.
Oh, that's right. He was a cheerleader. He didn't even play sports.
I think he actually might have tried to play one year, but I'll give him credit. It's farther than I ever got playing than yet you, but I sure as hell wouldn't have quit and become a cheerleader. So it's just like I got to throw this. He was at Iowa, for that deal. Each candidate got 10 minutes. And in the end, what does he do? Again, plays fake cowboy. Yeah, come on down. I got a hospitality room. I'll show you how to rope. You idiot. Yeah, right. Did he really?
He really said that, guys. I don't know if anybody saw it, but he gets in there and insults everybody. First talks about how North Dakota State, they kicked Iowa's butt in some sporting event. And I guess it happened in 2018. Now, it wasn't football, so it must have been, I don't know if it was hockey or if it was basketball.
I think they did beat him in football a few years ago, actually.
All I know is that he got booed because of it, and rightfully so. I mean, that's the way to start out. Go in there and insult the people you're trying to get to vote for you.
Yeah. Anyway, Clayton, we're already into 2A bullet points.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's we're at what, 6:42. Why don't we do our double ad and then we'll go into 2A bullet points.
Okay. All right, I'll hit it right here. Be right back. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads. So now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lowry you heard the sponsor, Guns in the 701, and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by The Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, The Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. All right, guys. Again, thanks to our sponsors. We can't do it without them. They're the ones that help keep this baby running. I know it looks sometimes easy, and it looks like it doesn't take much to do it. Trust me, there's a lot that goes into this, and there's a lot of expense that goes into this that people don't realize to have everything on everywhere. I mean, there's a charge for websites, there's a charge for the streaming. There's a charge for everything, and rightfully so.
If you guys think Clay and I are filling our pockets, you are sadly mistaken here. So, someday we'd like to get a little more jingle in there, but you know what? Hey, and guys, don't forget, if you do patronize our sponsors, make sure you tell them that you heard them right here on Guns in the 701 and you appreciate them supporting a program like this.
And
they have been hearing it, Clayton.
They have. Yep. Yeah, and I got to give a shout out and thank the Blind Guy, Wyatt and Tammy there. They hosted last week. They had Marty over. We had both Wyatt and Marty joining us right there live from the Blind Guy's shop. So we want to thank them for setting that up. And Tammy, she got everything up and running. We did a little trial run, worked pretty good. So thanks to Wyatt and Tammy and the Blind Guy ND guys. Go check them out. blindguynd.com.
And you saw them big whitetail mounts in the background. Wyatt got all those road hunting with his 30-06 bolt action blind magazine at top load 3 at a time.
Oh, darn. I thought you were say over there blasting with a 30-round mag. His AR-15,
I wasn't telling quite the truth there either. But,
And Lynette, we got a couple comments. Lynette chimed in. She's like, Scott was attached to Burgum's butt. City commissioners gave themselves a 6% raise. Wow, see? 6% raise. I don't know anybody that's getting 6% raises anymore, but by golly, government's done so good to give themselves one. Yeah.
Well, guess what? We don't have to worry about them anymore.
No. Need a change the ad for Lauer Auto. Summer is here in full force. We know that.
Oh, man. I know.
How
I'll
about
tell you
this?
what, Clay, Sunday when I get back from Dougie's, we might have to get together and then just online and get this handled. Well,
if things go right, I'm going to be up there Sunday. So that's the plan.
Because Sunday we're going to do Axe has got the 454 Rossi Castle lever action. We're going to do a review on that, and a 44 long coat Schofield, baby.
Yes,
and Clay's coming up. If Clay comes up, he's going to have something too. So we're going to have something going. And actually Saturday morning, my buddy and his son, one of them, they got one new rifle, and one of them they got a re-zero it. They're heading up to Alaska. And I talked to Doug. He's going to let them come out and do a little shooting. They're both going to hunt some caribou up there. So one's a 7mm mag, and the other's a 7mm PRC, I do believe. But don't worry, we'll get some video of it for everybody, and it should be pretty sweet. So
that'll be a lot of fun. And Eric, I don't know what you're doing Sunday. If you want to ride up with me, I'm sure the boys will be okay with that because we'll be coming home yet that day. So
yeah,
and we're only going to the Rock Range, so we're not going way up north. So not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm feeling like that first part of the show. I didn't feel like I could put out a bad performance there, so hopefully I can kick it up here in the second part.
I felt like low energy Bush.
I felt a little low energy.
Low.
So
anyway, low energy.
Now. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I guess.
All right, hit it.
So, and this is something we probably should have saved either for in the crosshairs or top, but we could expand on it because it's still relevant. I don't know if anybody knows this, and I've always, how I've always been, kick the feds out of everything. Kick the feds out of your schools, kick them out of your state, don't take their money. You want to solve some of these issues, kick them out. You'll get by. Trust me. Kick it out because you're addicted to it. Well, here's a good example. The Biden administration, guess what they're going to withhold? Have you heard about this? They want to withhold funds from schools with hunting courses and archery courses. Now, and that's what they do, guys. They've done this with vehicle laws forever and ever and ever. You know, they always take the federal gas tax. Well, if you don't pass a seatbelt law, we're going to keep your money. If you don't pass a helmet law for bikes, we're going to keep your money. So yeah, they'll give you some money, but then there's always strings attached, and it always takes away freedom. Always, never ever differentiates. And there's some articles out there about red flag laws with that exact same thing too. But anyway, so Joe Biden's administration, he's going to withhold funding from elementary and secondary schools that have included courses on hunting and archery in their curriculum. Now, from what I understand, we've got one heck of a archery in the school program in both North and South Dakota, and I think all across the nation. That was really kind of an avenue, and replaced junior rifle clubs essentially. But I think it's a great gateway. Let's teach kids how to get out there. You know, I got no issue with that. I support archery in the schools. I absolutely do. The spokesman for the Department of Ed, there's another department that should go bye-bye, said that according to the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. So let's remember who voted for that, guys.
Oh, yeah.
North Dakota representation voted for that piece of crap bill. Let's never forget that.
The most comprehensive gun safety law in 20 years, Clayton, according to President Yo.
And now it's going to take away archery from kids.
Perfect.
That's how safe it is.
Unreal.
Anyway, they said
bring that up tomorrow when we got John on.
Yeah, federal funding will no longer be provided. This, according to that bill, no longer be provided for shooting sports activities as previously allocated under the 1965 Elementary and Secondary Education Act. So there's another problem that they're finding in a big bill that had a lot of pages with crap. I'm telling you guys, I tried to read it all, and even I couldn't read everything. I didn't get a chance to read it all, and there's stuff buried into there that had nothing to do. Well, right here, it's going to eliminate something that was a great program. The prohibition applies to all of the ESEA funds. The Department of Education spokesman told Fox Digital on June 25th is when it went into effect. It applies to all existing and future awards under the program, including the 21st Century Community Learning Centers, and the department is administrating the bipartisan. They always say bipartisan law. It wasn't very bipartisan.
Yeah.
There was a few terms.
I don't give a damn what it is. It's worthless.
As written by Congress. You know, I mean, again, and all of you that are going to be affected, because I'm sure there's even people listening tonight or listening on the podcast or going to view this later. There's archery in the schools I know in Bismarck. There's archery in the schools in Minot. There's just about archery in the schools everywhere, because this is something that me and North Dakota Game and Fish agree on. They were someone that really supported the program. I supported. We supported it with NRA funding, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you remember those. And we weren't big on archery because we were the NRA, right? But we felt that the archery in the schools was a great segue.
A lot of people who are in archery are into guns too. So.
Absolutely. And so you know what I say? I'll finish the article, but tell the feds to cram it. Tell them to pound sand. You don't want their money. Go to places like NRA Foundation. Put in a Friends of NRA grant. Go to National Shooting Sports Foundation. Even they got grants for that. And I believe the archery associations have funding for this. I know what National Wildlife Turkey Federation does. Go talk to them organizations. Let's fund it privately. Let's fund it through organizations. Let's fund it with our own money and say to hell with them. And you know what? If Burgum wants to do something, or if our dead-ass legislature that doesn't accomplish nothing but waste money every year, well, why don't we fund it? I would be for that. If you want to fund something, fund that with some of the legacy fund money. I don't know if you can use it for that, but that'd be a good thing for it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Tommy Floyd, the president of National Archery in the Schools program, told an independent journal review that this will be very detrimental to the school archery and hunting programs. Floyd said that his organization is the largest archery organization for kids in the world. Its current enrollment is 1.3 million. I didn't realize it was that big. That's a lot of kids, guys, that are in that program. being exposed to hunting, being exposed then eventually to all kinds of shooting sports and outdoor activities. He said that the archery programs help students learn focus, patience, and the importance of teamwork. Senators Tom Tillis, a Republican out of North Carolina, and John Cornyn, from a Republican out of Texas, they wrote a letter to the Education Secretary, yeah, that'll do a lot of good, Miguel Cardona, claiming that the department had misinterpreted the bipartisan.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a big bow hunter. He cares.
I'm sure the BCSA to require the defending or to require the defending of certain long-standing educational enrichment programs, specifically archery and hunter classes, for thousands of children who rely on these programs to develop life skills and learn firearm safety and build self-esteem. Well, good. I'm glad they wrote a letter. I'd like to know if our senators got together and signed on to that. Hopefully they went around and tried to get more people to jump on board.
Do they even know about it?
They might not even know about it. But I can tell you right now, that's nice. But again, why depend on that federal money? Now, I would imagine they could do an end run around this because they don't have to go through the Department of Education. We have something called the Pittman-Robertson. Remember that? That's the tax that's collected on each and every single sale of firearms, fishing gear, you name it, outdoor equipment. And I know that this program would qualify for some of that funding. And maybe that's how Game and Fish is doing it in North Dakota. I've never checked into it. I imagine they are. If they are, great. Hats off to them. But you know what? They shouldn't be doing it. But if they're going to do it, this is a great opportunity to say, end the Fed, get them out of our program, get them out of this thing. We'll do it on our own. It'll be better. It'll be more efficient. And you'll be able to do what you want. You won't have to listen to federal regulations. But anyway, that's my 2A bullet point. And I thought it was pretty, it hits home right here in North Dakota. So
yeah. Well, Clay, and in my opinion, it's just like what the Commissioner Strand in Fargo said about changing the culture. You get these kids away from this sort of thing. I mean, that's what they want because I guarantee you, they know just like we do. The kids are going to shoot bow. They're probably going to end up, a lot of them, most of them probably, in my opinion, are going to end up getting into guns too. And they can that's just another way to change the culture and get them out of outdoor stuff. Because a lot of outdoorsy people got more of a Republican, conservative, pro-American train of thought, where city people couldn't care less. I mean, I'm not saying all city people, but a lot.
No, but your urban areas, your very urban areas. I mean, most of them, the only place they've ever seen a cow is in a zoo.
Freaking Doug.
It's a gateway drug.
And bulls are a gateway drug, man.
That's the marijuana of rifles.
Oh.
Get yourself a good compound bow.
When I was a kid, I think I got my 10 pump right about the same time. Remember they had them little bows? They come in like red or blue or green.
Yep.
And man, I think I got both of them about the same time. They're 1979, 1980. I was about 8, 9 years old, and yeah, gateway drugged me ever since.
If people are aware, there's a huge both shooting sports program for air rifles and small bore, as well as archery in the 4-H program. Mm-hmm. I'm not thrilled about 4-H because it's government funded again. I think we ought to be doing it on our own. We could do it better. But we did. I mean, you remember being on the board for the state board for Friends of NRA money with the foundation. I mean, how many 4-H clubs did we support and get going? We even did colleges. Remember, we got the NDSU shooting team. We got them up and running, guys. That was a $15,000 grant getting them started, and then we funded them after that. I know for at least 2 more years.
Yeah. So they got a big boost from the old weak spine NRA there.
Yeah, they did. Eric puts on here. School doesn't need the government money. The students' parents can pay for it because I have to pay 100% for my kids' schooling and get no aid because they're homeschooled. Exactly. I mean, Eric pays property taxes, and that's what funds schools in South Dakota. That is the funding in South Dakota. Yep. He pays property taxes that go up every year, and he's not allowed in a Lemon school district to participate or have his kids participate even in extracurricular activities unless they take one class. Well, that's bullshit. He pays the money. I think you got to get a refund of his money, honestly. But if you're paying, the whole idea of homeschooling is because you don't want them in those classrooms because you don't want your kid indoctrinated with liberal ideas. But if you want to play something or it's not just sports. They can't be in band. They can't be in any of these extracurricular activities that the school has, and that's a bunch of crap as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. Well, I mean, bad news is it ain't changing.
No, it's not. We really considered homeschooling here, but we've been able to avert and overcome all the liberal stuff. It's not near as bad as it probably is up there in the Bismarck schools or Mandan or Fargo or the bigger cities.
I mean, some Bismarck schools are, other ones
Yeah.
aren't. I mean, there's schools that are, and there's schools that told Isaiah McGee and his BLM bullshit to pound sand. So
Good. I'm glad to hear that because
And fortunately, well, the middle school my kids went to is, that one told them to beat it. And like I said, for our grade school where my daughters went, Miller, say the pledge every day. I say the Pledge of Allegiance every day in that school. So, high school now, the other one they're going to. My oldest is hitting there this year, but she's pretty right wing already. So
that's good. I can't imagine why. I kind of like my boy. I can tell you, my boy is so much on board with what we do. I mean, he is pumped about going to this Trump thing in September. We got our tickets, and he's pumped up. And
that's awesome, man. Once you get to a few of these comments, Clay, and then I'm going to change it. We're going politics. I'm going to change it up to something a little what I think is funner. So
when that public schools are held hostage, you're absolutely right, Lynette.
Everything is by the feds.
It's because they take the federal funding.
Everything.
Marty can attest. We hit a little bit on that last week. Don't take the federal money. He was on the school board down there, and he's absolutely right. Hey, Vance, I talked to Vance today. Good to have you on, Vance.
Vance.
He's got some things happening, so looking forward to seeing him.
He's got a live stream going there Sunday mornings.
Yep. You got the Sportsman's Watch, I know, and then of course part of our Rax, and Jamie's now the newest member of Rax Adventure Team, and we're going to be going on a hunt here. Jamie hasn't committed to it, but I think he's got to go. I know that Doug is going with us. I know Axe is going with us. We're looking forward to it. But hog hunt Florida. What's Lynette got up here? We have a saying, freaking Doug. Speaking of Doug, Doug Thompson, he's like DJ. That's how I know him. He says they don't want us to know how to supply food for ourselves. They would like us to be dependent on the government for food, and then they control. Guys, all of this is about control. Eat bugs. They're trying to call them meat. I mean, I ain't never eaten that crap, not knowingly. Keith, Minnesota recreational marijuana law came into effect today. Just another way to invite crime into a community.
Hope they don't own guns. Hope they don't want to own guns.
I was going to say the federal laws still apply to that. If you fill out a 4473 form to buy a brand new gun from an FFL, and you are a recreational or a medical use marijuana user, if you fill out no when you answer that question,
liar, you're a felon.
You're a felon, and it's punishable. You probably would have been better off shooting a person, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless you're Hunter Biden, then you can answer that, and then you're okay. But Raylan Turner just bought my son a 22 caliber air rifle over the weekend. He loves it. Air rifles are fun, guys, and you can shoot them in your basement.
You get them with suppressors and all, man. Them things are
quiet. Get them with suppressors. You can set up. In them long winter, cold months, you can set up in your basement and shoot targets, and you're not going to hurt nothing. I think that you want to talk about a gateway, Doug Axe. It's probably the 22 air rifles are probably the gateway.
Axe sent me some videos. I want to sample some of that full auto BB gun he's got when I go out there. Steve, we might get a short with that on Sunday morning.
Brian says if it's being run right, it's likely not being run by the government. Boy, ain't that the truth? You want to make something inefficient, worse service, and absolutely no kind of expansion or improvement, let the government run it. They'll do that for you. It's unfortunate.
All right, Clayton. So before I get into my next Wyatt's got he sent blind guy sent me a text. Air rifles have been around for a long time. Actually, a lot of people don't know this. Lewis and Clark had a freaking air rifle.
Air rifles have been around for over a century, guys.
Maybe they got it from freaking Doug.
yeah. If you go out to the NRA's museum, the firearms museum out there, they've got some of the first air guns. And I'm telling you, that was cool thinking that these things were made in the 1700s and they're an air rifle. I mean, it was pretty neat to see those things. No, they don't look like
see into the future. They were.
No. You'd be surprised what came around between the 17 and 18 and 1900s.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, my goodness. If you've never been out there, guy, I don't care what you think about the NRA. I mean, I love the NRA.
I do.
Will. They got issues. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, you need to visit the National Firearms Museum. That is, you will never regret going to that. It's pretty cool.
I guess I got one reason to go to DC there, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go. Maybe we'll have to go out there.
Yeah. So before I get on
Trump's
to my
inauguration.
yeah, hopefully. Before I get to my 2A bullet point, one more time, we were just talking about bows. We're going to plug it again. Clayton, tomorrow night, we're having a special edition of Guns in the 701. We're going to have as a very special guest, Mr. John Arman from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures. We're going to be talking about crossbows and archery season. And of course, we're going to get big into some deer talk and deer numbers and all kinds of stuff like that. But the main topic of it's going to be archery. Or should crossbows be allowed into the archery season? And we had a poll on our Facebook poll here, Clay, about a month ago, over dominant that they should be. And the reason this came up is because a hunting shows these guys said absolutely not. They have crossbows have no business being in the archery season. And John's not anti crossbow, but I mean, we're gonna find out what his views are on it. Because I mean, John's a huge bow hunter. He's also a big Second Amendment guy. Loves guns, hunts with his guns. So tune in tomorrow, 6 Mountain, 7 Central. Special edition of Guns in the 701 with special host John Arman, Ultimate Outdoor Adventures. We're gonna try and keep it to an hour, Clay, but we always try to keep stuff shorter, and it doesn't work out that way. But it's gonna be a good show. Maybe that's why I'm feeling low energy tonight. I'm kind of looking forward to this tomorrow.
I am too. I think it's gonna be fun. It really is.
Yeah.
And I got no issue with somebody wanting to come on and talk about something like that. He contacted you, and I'm all for it. I mean,
if you're looking for like fireworks and a big argument, that's not going to happen because I'm friends with John. Clay's friends with it's going to be a good discussion about it, and I welcome anybody who wants to do something in the comments and get in on discussion.
Yep, it's going to be a good discussion. And who knows, we might even come to some common ground in there. But everyone knows how I feel. I do believe that they should be allowed. I'm always going to believe that. And
tune in tomorrow. You're going to get a whole quiver full of it, baby.
Yeah, you are.
All right,
like
Clay.
That whole quiver full.
You caught that one, huh?
I did.
All right,
I did.
So I'm gonna go into a little gear thing here for one of my 2A bullet points, Clay. According to Outdoor Life magazine, we're going with the best AR-15 magazines by this guy. And as anybody who knows me, I am an AR-15 pimp. I love AR-15s. I love all firearms, really. I mean, but AR-15s,
get them all.
Love him, God. He's fascinated by me. He's a nut. So they got 4 of them here, Clayton. Best overall, and I'm going to agree with them on most of this except for one thing. Their best overall AR-15 magazines are Magpul PMag 30 rounder, Gen 3 with the window. So I'm actually going to disagree with 2 things on them here. I'm more of a fan of the 20 rounder for all around use, but I mean, trust me, if there's a civil disturbance and we have like a big thing going on and the neighborhoods are getting riots, I'm going with the 30 rounder. But overall, I like 20 rounders better. The window in the magazine, I could take that or leave it. I'm not like a big fan of that. I'm always topping my magazines off anyway, so but I'm for sure best overall magazine, and I've been running AR since early.
Long time.
Yeah, almost 20 years. I think Magpul magazine, and the Magpul, that too goes for the bigger caliber, like the 308s, your larger frame,
right?
For sure.
Like
you get that factory magazine, a lot of them, they're junk. It gets cold, and people are like, "Oh, let's jam up." Well, the reason they jammed up probably is your stinking scuzzy magazine. Get yourself a Magpul. That thing will run like a sewing machine even when it's cold as hell.
I love Magpuls, guys.
Not only just magazines, everything I've ever dealt with that Magpul. The blind guy got the pistol caliber carbine AR, went down. I said, get yourself, he was looking at magazines. He called me. He's like, hey, Magpul makes this 30 rounder. I said, get that. Trust me. Not a problem with it. Runs awesome. Runs awesome. So, all right. So their best overall U.S. government issue type, which is your aluminum your aluminum magazine that most
Right.
people see. That they figure the Brownells AR-15 aluminum magazine is the best.
Really?
I do have some Brownells, and they do work great. I've never had a problem with them, Clay. Only thing, my issue with aluminum magazines is, and this is nitpicking, first world problems. JD, anally retentive, it scratches my brass when I pull the when I pull the rounds out of there. It bugs me. Okay, I didn't. So this one I never heard of, because this is the only one on here that I haven't heard of. Best Steel magazine. I actually didn't even know that they made steel magazines. A Duramag stainless steel. Never heard of Duramag. If anybody's heard of Duramag, let me know what you think of it in the comments. I'd love to know. But I do have this one. This is awesome. Best hybrid. It's not all one material. Lancer Systems L5 AWM. I do have, and the feed lips are steel, because one thing about aluminum magazines, the feed lips can bend, and that's when you're going to get misfeeds in your AR and that.
Okay.
And another thing about Magpul, they come with a little cover cap. When you load it up, you put it on and click it on. It'll push the rounds down just a little bit to take pressure off of your feed lips, so they don't get deformed to give you. But yeah, the Lancer Systems, would love to have those. All right, Doug Thompson's got some.
So he's got some
all
of
right,
them.
thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. That's awesome. The last one on the list here, Clay, I personally don't have, but our Big Daddy sponsor, freaking Doug and Laurado, he has a Men too. I asked him about them, and it says 30 rounders here. That's their best polymer, they figure. And Men too, actually, those guys, if you follow them on Facebook, which Guns in the 701 does, those guys got some awesome advertisements. These are solid magazines, man. They almost feel to me like they're a little thicker than actually the Magpul. They do feel stout. Yeah. I
love my Magpuls, but
yeah. I mean, I'm not switching Magpuls, but if I ever come across a good deal, I think Doug said he got a good deal on these Men 2s once, and he bought them, and then he told me, he's like, yeah, these things are awesome, and we've used them out there on his ARs, shooting at high alpine and the rock range, and they worked awesome. So any of these magazines, like I said, I'm definitely on board at the best overall of the Magpul, but it sounds like any of these would be good. My last choice would definitely be the aluminum or the steel, but I mean, if Doug Thompson said they were good, hey man, you get a good deal on them, buy them cheap and stack them deep, because you never know.
I got some steel ones. I couldn't even tell you the brand. I bought those when when the assault weapons ban was starting to be implemented, and you could still have them, you could still sell them as long as they were here before that. And I bought them at a gun show. Are they okay? They're okay, but they do have jamming problems, and it is not the gun; it is that magazine. Their tolerances ain't that good. Then, so not all mags are created equal, guys. Not all mags are created equal. Luckily, I didn't pay much for them.
Dougie says, Axe, my Korean steel mags didn't make the list. Hey, I think we use those, man. Am I thinking of those right? It was ammo that we were having problems with, I think, but I think the Korean mags work pretty good for us out there. I thought.
Were you using Wolf ammo? You know what it was? That the Russian ammo didn't like them Korean mags.
Putin, I got to use the stuff that works good on the Ukrainians.
Yes, guys. For all your entertainment needs, right here, Guns.
Yeah, don't get all PO'd. I'm not against Ukraine.
I'm against.
I mean, if you want to get PO'd, go ahead. It's not going to make a difference.
I'll say it. We shouldn't be in there. We should have never gotten involved. But that's a whole nother subject.
All right, Clay. I tell you, I do have another bullet point. I don't know. Do we want to go through it, or are we gonna? Because we still got a couple things yet. Are we gonna?
Yeah, we can save it. I mean, a lot of this stuff.
I'm gonna do it real quick. I want to get this out of the way. All right, it ain't gonna take long. It's probably not gonna be a big discussion.
So everybody knows one in afterwards too.
All right, I'll tell you what. You do yours. I just did mine. You do yours. I don't want to go two in a row. I want to hog up. I don't want to hog up all the airtime.
Well, mine will be quick, guys. I don't know if you saw this. It could have probably been a happy ending of the week, but it'll be great. 2A point. I don't know if anybody heard about this, but there was a guy that it was great. I seen on Real America's Voice to begin with. A Texas man, he tracked down the guy who stole his vehicle. So it was actually a guy and a gal. They stole this guy's vehicle. He tracked him down. He goes and follows him to a mall, the South Park Mall in San Antonio. Gets there, gets the guy out, basically puts him on the ground the way it sounded.
Yeah, had an air tag on his vehicle, right? That's how he tracked
I think that's how, this article doesn't even say it, and they didn't say it when I watched it on the
it.
video
I think he
clip.
did. I was listening to Armed American Radio, and I think that's
Okay.
what he said. I think he said that.
Which,
I think.
by the way, Armed American Radio guys, great.
Yeah, if you like what we
listening,
do,
Yes.
yeah. Mark Walters and the boys got a hell of a show there. So
They really do. And someday maybe we'll have as many sponsors as him.
I can only hope, Clayton.
Hey, I'm looking, he's got the platinum mic by what, 6 hour or something. We're looking, guys. So anybody that wants to sponsor our mic.
Ruger. I mean, hey, we definitely aren't too proud. I mean, we'll take
my microphone's black, so it's an assault, but it's an assault
Oh,
mic.
for sure.
So yeah.
For sure.
Anyway, high capacity assault.
Culturally appropriate.
They find these guys. He puts them on the ground. He's holding them at gunpoint. Tells them to get out of the vehicle. The man and the female accomplice, they sat down on the ground as the truck owner held them there until the police arrived. But in the meantime, the guy who stole the truck was stupid. He actually pulled a gun on. He pulled a weapon from his waistband and shot at the truck owner. The truck owner. I mean, how dumb are you? This guy tracks you down. Obviously, he's probably willing to shoot you.
Yeah.
He brings you, he puts you at gunpoint. You get out, you're sitting on the ground being held at gunpoint. Gee, I think I should pull my gun now. And he pulls out his gun, and guess what? The guy shot him. He returned fire. He killed the thief. The accomplice also got shot. That would have been the female. She was in critical condition and at the time going to the hospital. And what I thought was great about this, though, so Texas has a huge, they got a great stand your ground. It's better than North Dakota, it's better than South. You literally can stand your ground and to protect yourself or your property. Even better, guys, is that the sheriff, or actually it's the San Antonio police chief, Williams McManus, he did a press conference and he talked about the whole thing, talked about what happened. And he goes, the bad guy is the one that's dead. He goes, yeah. He says, I'll confirm that. The driver of the stolen vehicle is deceased, shot by the owner of the stolen vehicle. Then he goes on to say that it was certainly a case of self-defense. That's what we have here. He commented, concerning the whole thing. We would prefer they called the police before taking their hands, but he did what he had to do. He said he felt he had to do it. And then he turns around and says, Texas has a very strict stand your ground law, and that pertains to self-defense and cannot be nullified by a jury or a progressive district attorney. And the governor stated that as well, guys. That was even better. Abbott completely confirmed that. He had every right to track his vehicle down, McManus bluntly noted at the press conference. Of course, the dead man's brother is now saying that, his brother was a victim. You stole a guy's freaking car. And that he had no right to chase down the thief and kill him. Well, yeah, he did actually under the law. The victim was my brother, and there are two sides to every story, he bitterly remarked.
Not this one.
Whether my brother was right or wrong, I'm crying like a little snowflake. He had a gun pointed at him, and I guess he took it upon himself to defend himself. So he's saying his brother, who broke the law,
these people
stole a vehicle, had a gun pointed at him because he stole a guy's personal property, was waiting for police. He was defending himself by then pulling his gun. No, that ain't how that went. He basically called the guy a vigilante, adding that the people should wait for the police before just taking justice into their own hands. The guy was shot. The guy that shot him is a vigilante, not a hero. Vehicle's not worth taking someone's life for. Yes, it is. You take my property and you do it that way. Why shouldn't I? You're probably worthless and just an oxygen depleter if you're out there stealing stuff like that. So good riddance as far as I'm concerned.
Not a hero. Sounds like the guy's a great American of the week to me.
That's right. Like I said, this could have been a happy ending of the week. Anyway, based on the preliminary information, everything, the defense attorney that asserted that the owner's actions were justified under Texas Penal Code. So far, there's absolutely been no charges brought against,
Good.
And I don't think there's going to be. And there shouldn't be. Yes.
Greg
anyway,
should cut a check for about $5,000 and send it to him and say thanks for letting all the rest of the scumbags know what's in store.
Absolutely, you gotta love Texas, guys. I mean, on stuff like that, they get it right.
If you can waste money, let's do it on something good like this.
I think we need to model our stand your ground law right after it. But I suppose that Catholic lobbyist will get up there and try to tell me I'm wrong again.
Oh my, yeah. I wonder what that guy's name was. Man, anyways, he was. That guy, Marty was there too, so he knows who we're talking about.
Well, you know what I told him afterwards. I remember no one could believe it because I walked over there and
Oh, that was
he didn't
great.
like it. He went over there and then scuttled off to his
I didn't
football
like
buddies.
him, so
No.
I'm sure the feeling was mutual towards me as well. So, all right, Clayton, we're coming into August here, and a couple years ago, one of my favorite gun companies, if not the, maybe not the favorite, but it's probably top three, Smith & Wesson, which was it 2 weeks ago. They was established back as far as 1852 as Volcanic Arms, member, and it changed. And
That's right. I
Winchester
remember
worked
that.
there. And so, yeah, after Massachusetts passed some of their Second Amendment, anti-Second Amendment civil rights infringement laws, Smith & Wesson finally had enough in 2021 and said, we're dragging up, we're moving. And, said they're moving $125 million investment and they're moving to Tennessee, which, I mean, their governor now, it's going to be better in Massachusetts, but we can do that another time. They're cranked up, moving into 125,625,000 square foot headquarters in beautiful Maryville, Tennessee. And on their social media, as gun builders and Americans, Smith & Wesson is dedicated to your freedom and the security and promise of the Second Amendment. I could not agree more. That's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that. And we read some stuff, Smith & Wesson's CEO, I can't remember his last name, Smith, at the testimony in D.C. Guy was freaking awesome. I'm really using that word tonight. What the heck?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're making guns in a 701 great again.
Yeah, freaking guns in a 701, baby. I love it. Yeah, that's Smith & Wesson. According to their most recent data, the largest American pistol maker in 2021 in terms of volume with 1,648,885 or 648,885,000 pistols made. It was the third largest maker in terms of number of revolvers and rifles. Local media reports the company is hiring briskly, Clayton. Imagine that.
Awesome.
Because the reason I'm doing this is because they're going to, this month, they're saying in August, Smith & Wesson's firing up this facility. They're going full bore there in Tennessee instead of commie state, Massachusetts. So, and
awesome.
Figures provided by the National Shooting Sports Foundation stressed the firearms industry already employs nearly 7,800 people in Tennessee through direct or indirect jobs and contributes over $1.07 billion to Tennessee's economic impact. That's a lot of freaking money in one state.
That's going to be
right?
huge. Absolutely.
And now Smith & Wesson's coming there on top of that, right?
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, the firearms industry pays, of course, I'm going to go, we know this, but I'm going to do it anyways, pays $130.5 million in federal and state taxes annually and contributes an additional $22.1 million in excise taxes that benefit wildlife conservation. Which
that's the PR fund. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Pittman Robertson. So that's awesome. Smith & Wesson, another great company that told the gun grabbing commies to shove it, and they're moving out. I love it.
And more of them are doing it. I'm glad that they're doing it. They're finally getting out of there, and I don't blame them. And Magpul did it. They left Colorado and moved to Wyoming.
Magpul was one of the first. Yeah, they did it, and one of my favorite AR makers. In fact, my favorite gun I own, my Stag. I own a couple.
Stag, yep.
They were in Massachusetts or Connecticut, drug up after that scuzzbag Adam Lanza that left this little freak. Went in and did his thing. They drug up and moved out to Wyoming, man. And they're kicking A out there. It's awesome. I love it.
I love it. You already got some like Kel-Tec's down in Florida. They're down there in Cocoa, Florida.
Yep.
Make some great products. I love the fact that the gun manufacturers are leaving these states along with however many businesses because they're tired of the infringement. They're tired of the taxes. They're tired of being restricted. Good. Leave them states. Let them go to dust.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Keith O'Donnell, he says, he says the golden EIB mic, reference to Rush Limbaugh. Yeah,
the golden G&T 701 mic.
Probably fake gold, but we could do it.
I
like what Doug Thompson said too. He goes, he's asking, do you value my property more than your life?
Love
Absolutely.
It, yeah.
I've actually said that before. If you want to try and steal my stuff, I hope you value it a hell of a lot more than your life, because you're probably not going to get away with it. Is it worth your life to take my stuff? Probably not, because I will take your life.
All right, Clay, you'll run one more commercial here, and I think my 52-year-old prostate's going to have to go take care of business, and I'll be right back.
Do that, and then we'll come back with a Patriot Company.
Absolutely. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lauer you heard the sponsored Guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
All right. Again, thanks, guys. Down there, Lauer Auto Repair. I tell you what, they do great work. Doug's been a great patriot and supporter of the show since day one. So if you didn't get the number, 701-258-6308, Lauer Auto Repair down there in 309 South Washington. Go down there and hit him up, and he will definitely take care of you. I know Leon's been down there. Brett's been down there. He's had a lot of guys. A lot of our listeners are going down there now, and we just can't thank him enough. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go with the Patriot Company of the Week. All right, guys. I just love the national anthem. I just had to play it all.
Beautiful.
So, as you guys know, last week we had the Comic Company of the Week, which was Square.com, and they decided to boot our ass off. And you know what? We're not even going to take. We're up and running now, so I'm hoping to give them notice completely. Maybe we can get a little of our money back. Then we prepaid them commies, for the whole year. So,
hey, Clay. Hey, Square, you know what you are?
Nasty person.
Yes, they are. Every bit of them, anyway. So I thought, you know what? As much help as I've had from our new platform and Heather, and I tell you what, I can't say enough. My patriotic company of the week is freedomhostusa.com, guys. I mean, here's their homepage. We believe in free speech on the web, and I can attest to this, guys. These guys, Heather is just she's like the guru of building sites, and she's the one to help assist us get everything transferred. We got the domain transferred. She set us up with a new email.
She's listening right here.
All right. Hey, she said she was going to be listening. So
yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Heather. Again, I can't say enough about the service. And you know what was great? Everything you do anymore, you call and you get a bot basically, or press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and it's just really no personal service. And I can tell you right now, this is personal service. You call the number and the person answers. It's fantastic. She's been helpful. I've emailed her, I've texted her with questions, and I know sometimes I feel like I'm bugging her too much, but she never misses a beat. And by the way, if you look, we got our new email now is guns@gunsinthe701.com. JD and me both used to have our own, decided to simplify it, and that made sense. Plus, it'd be awesome when we send out emails now and it says guns@gunsinthe701.com. So with that set up, we got the store set up as I showed you guys earlier. And that site, I don't know, I really like the new site. I have to say,
looks awesome.
It's just to me 10 times better
He's
than
gonna
what I
give
was.
me the he's gonna give me the rundown when he's up here how to go through it all and
Yes,
post
yep.
because
We're gonna get you.
I'm
Hopefully,
not
we can
as,
get
I'm not
you
as
along.
tech savvy as Mr. Clayton Peterson. So.
Well, I'm learning. It's definitely a work in progress, but I'm just happier than heck to be on board with these guys. And to me, if you're looking to change, even if you're not, if you have a website, guys, please change. I don't know who's hosting you, but these guys believe in what we do. They believe in free speech. They're very patriotic. This is the place to go. And I just can't say enough about it. Why do business with them companies that hate us? We got to quit doing that
Yeah,
when we can. We can't avoid it
exactly.
all the time. And I'm going to just pull something up here. I brought this up. I'm going to share it quick. Like, there's our new website. And I can tell you right now, that is just, I love it. That website it's user friendly. As Heather can attest, I had a little trouble with the menu. I kept
I mean,
screwing
I
it
don't
up.
know if anybody really needs a flamethrower though, Clay.
Yeah. And as you can see, here's where the live will be. It's loading right
Yeah,
now.
I just checked it out. I just was
Yep.
watching it when we
But
were.
it's there. We got our latest episode. We'll put 53 up there later. We've got this is episode 19 with In the Crosshairs. Here's Mitchell in the morning. You got our sponsorships, which we're going to be changing those two out, guys. And then, of course, Jamie's there. You can make him bigger right there if you want.
Make me bigger, yeah, please do.
Yeah, this is bigger. See, yeah. And we got the Lara Auto Repair site here. And if you go to the sponsor page, you can take and go right and see what they're doing. Blind Guy has a website, so if you click on our sponsor, the Blind Guy, it'll take you right to his store. And then, of course, contact us or donate. We even got our Rumble. If you click on any of these things now, unlike our old site, boom, it'll take you right to them. And that's what's great. Same with the store. Takes you to everything you want to see. We also have a brand new blog called Guns in a 701 Bullet Points. And, of course, I got one up there. I talked about how they canceled us by commies. So now we're here at Freedom Host USA.
Yeah.
But, I can't say enough about Freedom Host USA, guys. They are fantastic. The service is just phenomenal, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have a long business relationship with these guys.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe we'll go to Texas sometime for something, and we're going to have to stop in and say, "How you doing?"
Hey, we said they're in Austin. My cousin Mitchell lives there. He listens to the show on occasion. So hey, Mitch, he's a tech dude too. So hey, you never know. They might end up doing something together. So that'd be awesome.
One thing I can tell you too, do you realize the plan that we did with these guys was actually cheaper than the one we were doing with
the
Square?
commies.
So we even saved money. So that even made it even better. But everything is functioning. The store is working great. I tried it out the other day, and it works fantastic. So
yeah, thanks for your
everyone was
donation, Clay.
Yeah, no kidding. I decided to just do it, hit that donation one and see if it worked, and it does.
Yeah.
It was great. All I can tell you is
Awesome.
that, and another thing too, is it was very easy to link all that back so that it goes right into our bank account when we're done. Everything was smooth. So once I learned how to use it, it was great. Stephanie also going to be helping us out. Remember, I haven't forgot about Stephanie. She's the one to help us out with
yeah. Stephanie
she's also gonna
Sandstrom, she's a friends of the NRA with us. She was awesome. She is awesome. So
Yep, and she's still going to be in the loop on this. I got her ready to rock and roll and do her thing, and she was a great volunteer. She's a great patriot. So we remember those that basically came with us, especially all them years with the NRA. And now that we're doing this, guess what? We're bringing them people in. We do. If we got something that's going on, I'm always going to go find the people that were supporting us then. And that's what we've been doing. So freedomhostusa.com, guys. Yes, go check them out. If you have a site, hey, Wyatt, if you're listening, I know you got someone local there, but I'm telling you, you will love the service you get from this patriotic company. But anybody that's got a website, go to freedomhostusa.com and call the number, talk to Heather, and she will get you guys set up and transferred, and she'll make it easy. I mean, we did all this in about 7 days, less?
it was fast. Yeah.
It was fast. And we
Yep.
didn't need 30 days, did we?
No.
So
Sooner we got rid of them square scums, the better. So
I can't wait to write my letter, my email tomorrow. Now that everything's running and running great, I just can't wait to tell
Blind
them.
Guy said they're going to check it out.
Awesome. There you go. You hear that, Heather? You might get a new customer up here in North Dakota. And And what I love about it is we have access to edit it when we want. It's based in WordPress, which I didn't know much about. I'd heard about it, and it is a very easy site builder. I mean, even I could figure it out, so everyone should be able to figure that out. Because I'm not as tech savvy as JB says.
I mean, if I can figure it out, then we can talk about it being
Okay.
easy.
So again, Freedom Host USA, that is our Patriot Company of the Week. We're proud to be with them. We're proud to be doing business with them. And yeah, go check them out.
Absolutely.
Give them a change. And you know what? Axe, I know I told you this already, but we can do 5, and I'm going to do one for you on there. We need to talk about some things to put on it, but you got to have a website, buddy. We'll get you set up.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
All right, guys. So that is my Patriot Company of the Week, Jamie.
All right, Clayton, and it was a great one. That's awesome. Now, we got something else fun coming up right here.
We do. That's it. Just never. Heather, if you're watching, yes, I made that for Jamie's. For his happy ending of the week.
Happy ending of the week. Happy ending. We might have to change that to Great American of the Week. I don't know.
Maybe I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Great American of the Week.
Man, so usually, this is and this one's coming, Clay, from a state that we wouldn't expect it to, right? Sacramento County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Amar Gandhi says a California father opened fire on an armed attacker Sunday to save his family as a hero. Hey, not even, because usually from California, right, when somebody does that, well, they sound like the guy you were reading about there a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Right? The father and his wife were in bed in their Carmichael, California apartment Sunday morning when 33-year-old Alonzo Brown came looking for his girlfriend around 1 a.m. Brown's girlfriend was not in the apartment, but he believed she was, so he began trying to kick in the door. He then looked into the bedroom window where he and the wife made eye contact, after which Brown opened fire, shattering glass. The wife said, "He saw me, we made eye contact, and the next thing I know, I was jumping out of bed because the glass is shattering." The husband retrieved his gun and returned fire, striking the scumbag Brown with an unknown number of rounds. Afterward, the husband said, "You cannot just let people come in the house with a gun. It was a good thing I had a gun. Just imagine if I didn't have a gun." Ooh, absolutely. I like that. I like that. So right now you're thinking, well, maybe Sergeant Gandhi changed his tune. Sergeant Gandhi praised the father, saying, "The resident's a hero. Obviously, he defended himself. He defended his property. Moreover, KCRA TV quoted Gandhi saying," "Oh, Clay, you're going to like this. The best part about this was that the resident at the apartment, who was a legal firearm owner, actually fired back."
Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow, is this really from California?
No kidding. Maybe. Well, there is
hope,
right?
And then Clay, so that was super happy, right? That was a great. And now for this one, that's not going to be a shocker to you. The gun in Brown's possession was deemed to be illegally possessed.
Imagine.
We need another law. California needs another law.
Need another law. The criminals, they stay out of them guns, them gun-free zones. They just don't go in there anymore.
Oh man, that's that's a good happy ending there. I'm still smiling. I love it.
By a Great American.
By a Great American, it sounds like they got a hell of a police sergeant there in Sergeant Gandhi.
They do. I think they do. And we've got them here. We do. We got great police officers. Corey Lee comes to mind. He's a sheriff over there in Stark County. That's a constitutional sheriff, guys. And they're not all that way. Trust me, they're not all that way. But definitely Corey Lee is over there. So
all right, Clayton. I'll tell you what. Let's one more time tomorrow night. Clayton, why don't you tell everybody who we got coming on as this very, very special guest?
Yep, we got Mr. John Arman's going to be joining us from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures. He actually contacted Jamie about basically what we did on K-Fire on Mitchell in the Morning. Had to do with crossbows and what was the name of that gentleman again?
Holder.
Yeah, they're with
Raised Hunting. So John, actually, I know John's friends with the guy, and John thought I was a little tough on him, and which is fine. I didn't think I was. John thought he was. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. We're going to talk about crossbows because the guy didn't think crossbows should be allowed in archery season. Matter of fact, he said, looked at the camera and said, write it down. They have no place in archery season.
Yes, and we disagreed, and I still disagree. And this is what's great, guys. we have mutual respect between us and John. Always, I've known John a while. You have as well. He's
Yep.
been we got mutual friends, but that's okay. He can come on and we can have a great discussion. Like you said, if you're expecting fireworks, don't. This is not what this is gonna be about. It's going to be a great discussion about that subject. And
something in the comments might piss us off. But whatever.
and I encourage you guys comment, and we definitely will.
Even if you disagree, I want to hear it.
Yep.
I want to hear
we want you to ask us questions. We want you to ask John questions. If you disagree, agree. That's fine. You're not going to change my mind on this crossbow thing, but it's a great discussion.
Not that I expect to change, the guy's mind on a hunting show either. But Clay, to be fair, not to cut you off, but I sent you the link. I actually listened to the whole podcast and I wrote some stuff down, and man, it made me even more negative about his comments. So you're gonna have to tune in. We're gonna hit it tomorrow.
When I listen, I'm gonna go follow that link, and I just didn't get time today. I was busy being a plumber today, so fixing water tanks and floats and pipes.
Out.
Yeah, probably. I know the sweat was rolling. Oh my god.
Yeah,
but no, I now that I'm gonna watch it. But it was the guys, whether he meant to come across that way or not, he came across as an arrogant dick. He really did. And that's no way to win over anybody. I do that too. I sometimes make that mistake as well, but you can't be that way. And to me, if we're hunting and we're fishing and we're shooting, we are supposed to all be on the same side. And I can tell you right now, when you do things like what he said right there, and that's what it was basically to demean anybody that thought differently than him on that issue. And that's not one of them issues that to me, you could do that. If you got people out there hunting with a crossbow, isn't that a good thing?
Well,
that'd be like you and me saying, well, you know what, Jamie, you hunt with an AR. That don't belong in a rifle season.
And we heard that years ago, and that's why I started hunting with one, to prove people that was a bunch of crap.
Right.
And it was a bunch of crap.
And I look at it, and I always have, hey, it's a guy out there exercising his Second Amendment rights, doing something he enjoys, out there hunting. Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah. So it's going to be a fun show, and John said he's going to give us some of his perspective on it, and he's got some things we should think about, and which is great. And I'm sure like I said, the whole show is not going to be about that. Most of it probably will be. We're going to get into some deer hunting,
deer numbers and things like that. And John and their whole crew, they hunt a lot. You got Jason Wright and the rest of them there. So it should be a great show. I'm looking forward to it. It's a special one. We don't usually do Thursday nights, but busy week.
3 days in a row, man. Wednesday, Thursday,
do it
Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's 4 days total. God dang it, we're almost every day, every week. Uh-oh.
Well, I hope everybody, hey guys, we're going to post a link to it tomorrow on Facebook, maybe even tonight, actually start promoting it. So appreciate it if you guys would share that link. And I know John said he's going to, so.
I got the promo loaded up. Let me play it.
Yeah, I played up there. All
right.
I got another one made too.
It did okay. It got a little bit. Looks like to me, it got a little pixelated in the email.
That's okay. That's okay. I was jamming out. I like this. A good jam there. I don't know.
Looking forward to it though. I think it's going to be a great show, and it'll be a lot of fun. A little something different, and that's what we're trying to do here, guys. Every once in a while, do some different things because, it probably get a little boring listening to us once in a while, but who knows?
Yeah, we get some Jeb Bush. Like I said, the first half of the show, I thought we were Jeb Bush. I was Jeb Bush.
I was so busy today that I was actually unprepared. Probably one of the more unprepared shows I've been. And I
could tell talking to you before. You were kind of.
I was too. I literally got in here at 4:30. I needed a shower horribly.
Maybe you sniffed too much of that glue there when you glued together your
could be
PVC.
Yeah,
your plumbing.
Oh wait, no, I'm doing that wrong.
There you go. There you go.
Anyway, so looking forward to it again, and of course we're going to be on Friday with Mitchell in the morning. Todd Mitchell. That comes on 7:40 Mountain Time, 8:40 Central. Don't want to miss that. I think we're going to have a pretty good show there.
I can tell you one thing we're going to talk about. Our buddy David Hogwash is going to make an appearance again on there.
That little runt. Oh,
Hey, he's one of them guys like Joel said, right? Yeah, you little short guy, you get little man's disease.
little man syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to make him smaller, like pound his head down.
You-
Anyway,
yeah.
and then of course my plan is I'm planning to leave here early Sunday morning. Gonna come up there. We're gonna have a little fun on the range. Might as well. The weather ain't gonna be too bad compared to what
Right.
it's been. And it's summer. We're winding down, guys. I can't believe it already. So yeah, it'd be fun to get up there and do a little range time.
National Shooting Sports Month.
That National Shooting Sport. And guys, today is August 2nd, which means it's 2A day.
Yeah.
Right?
Second Amendment.
August
It's Amendment
8th,
Day, baby.
2. Hey.
Any second Amendment Day.
And so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm trying to think. I had something else I wanted to say, but now
Well, I can tell you this on Monday, Clayton, at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Clay and JD join Jay Dillon on In the Crosshairs on KFYRplus.com. That's KFYR TV's live streaming service. Clay and I are on there. We usually hit 4 topics on there, Clay. Takes about 30 minutes. Actually, Monday was a good show. If you guys didn't see
I
it,
thought that was one of our better
yeah,
ones. And
go back, check it out. We had a lot of good, we always try to get a lot of good information, some fun stuff on
well,
there.
unfortunately, the audio didn't come through on that, but I'm waiting for them to upload it to their site.
that's
I don't
right.
know. So I'm going to grab that audio as soon as they get that loaded on their site.
One
I'll
of the
grab
things,
it.
Clay, usually we go straight politics or hunting on Jay's show. I got one thing I'll tell you right now I want to do on there on Monday. A lot of people say the 22 is not a good self-defense round. Federal and CCI both make self-defense specific 22 rounds. And I think that's one of the things I think we want to hit on Jay's show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is. I've seen a couple articles too. I'll send them to you, see what we think. You know, Jamie and I, we do this all the time. Sending guys, people say there's nothing to talk about when they do their gun day Mondays or once. If then you're not looking. There is so much out there right now, especially in the courts. Right now there are 51 active cases. Did you know that? 51 as of today, active cases right now in the court systems at the levels that are working their way through. And there's probably that many, the way it sounded, that they're not bringing because of the Bruin decision. They don't want decisions on them. Most of them are coming from the other side.
Yeah, well, they're making anti-Second Amendment laws called what was it, Bruin response on Jay's show. We talked about the one in Hawaii.
Yeah, and then same thing. They made it because they're like, oh, well, we're just a big old thumb in the eye on the Bruin decision, and you know how it's going to go. They might make it through their court system in Hawaii, and then it's going to get appealed. It's going to end up eventually in the federal appellate courts, and it's going to work its way through the system. And I have no doubt that it will end right there because everybody's going back to Bruin now.
Clay, good reason to elect a Republican president, and we got to win that Senate back because the Senate's the one who nominates judges. Has nothing to do with the House, but we need the House too.
Yeah, the Senate's where the confirmation takes
Trump,
place.
Ronnie D, Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't care who it is. I do. I'd rather it be 100% Trump over Asa Hutchinson or somebody like that. But
yeah.
But
by the way, him and Pence didn't do well at the Iowa thing. I can tell you that. It was kind of funny. Pence got and now Pence is just doubling down on being he's showing his true colors.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. I mean, a couple of them guys are just in there just to try and tweak Trump and try to make him look bad, but ain't gonna work. Saw Trump's rally. We were in Minnesota, watched it. Was it Saturday night? That was probably the best one I've seen him do in quite some time.
That was a good one. It really was. Yeah. Eric Newman.
Crossbow and archery world's like 6'5". No, no, come on, Eric, man, no way.
Every day is 2A day. Access. You're right. Every day is 2A day. Every day is a great day to be an American. And I tell you what, guys, go out, send some freedom seeds downrange, exercise your Second Amendment rights, get involved with the local issue. Guys, if you don't go, if nobody's going to these meetings, nothing's going to change. Attend those council meetings. Like I said earlier, attend them local meetings, and even better yet, run. Put good patriots in those positions, and that's how you win things back. Otherwise, you only got yourself to blame. You truly do.
All right, Clayton. Until tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central. What are you going to do?
Well, you're going to have to keep your powder dry. See everybody tomorrow night.
See you guys.